Welcome to this explainer. Look, today we're diving into a piece of tech history that honestly just refuses to die. Apple's legendary airport ecosystem. Let's get right into it and see what made it so incredibly special. So it's 2026, we've got Wi-Fi 7, crazy fast fiber optics, and these massively complex mesh networks everywhere. And yet, home lab builders and veteran Mac users are still hunting down this discontinued Apple hardware. Today, we're going to uncover the magic behind that. I mean, what makes a router from way back then still so relevant right now?
Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to look at the airport ecosystem itself, walk through the setup process, check out advanced networking, dive into AirPlay and backups, tackle troubleshooting, and finally, wrap up with why airport still matters.
All right, part 1, the Apple airport ecosystem.
Let's start with the actual hardware. Apple didn't just pump out a single router. They built an entire family of devices in 3 gorgeous flavors. First up, the Time Capsule. This wasn't just a router. It was this brilliant mashup of a high-performance networking hub with a built-in hard drive totally dedicated to automatic Mac backups via Time Machine. It sat right alongside the Airport Extreme, which was your heavy-duty router for larger spaces, and the super compact Airport Express. Basically, it was a complete ecosystem for literally any home setup you could think of. Now, this perfectly captures that classic Apple magic. If you've ever set up a standard router, you know the drill. Terrifying, jargon-heavy web interfaces that look like giant spreadsheets. Not here. Airport Utility gave you this beautiful map-based view of your whole network. You instantly see the internet connection at the top, flowing right down to the main Extreme base station and then branching out to your Express units. You knew exactly what was going on just by glancing at it. No IT degree required.
Moving on to part 2, setting up your network. Let's look at how you actually get one of these things up and running, because this setup process was honestly revolutionary. It was just so elegant. You literally plug in the power and the Ethernet cable from your modem, wait for the little light to flash amber, meaning it's ready, and macOS automatically finds it. There's no typing weird IP addresses like 192.168.1.1 into a browser. You just open Airport Utility, click Create, Replace, or Extend, pop in your SSID and WPA2 password, and you're done. 4 simple guided steps instead of a massive headache.
The interface totally holds your hand through it all. You punch in your network name, whip up a solid password, and hit Next. And I absolutely love the Enable Guest Network checkbox. Just one click and boom, your visitors are completely isolated from your local files. Super secure, super easy. You just tell the software what you want, and it handles all the nasty routing logic behind the scenes. Now, what's genuinely brilliant here is how Airport handles network modes. It boils it all down to router mode versus bridge mode. If you're plugged straight into a modem, you use router mode, so the Airport handles the DHCP and NAT, passing out IP addresses and directing traffic. But let's say you're in a dorm or dealing with an ISP gateway that already does the routing. You just flip it to bridge mode. The Airport instantly becomes a wireless switch, avoiding those annoying network conflicts altogether. You also got really clear control over your frequency bands. You had the 2.4 gigahertz band, your everyday workhorse. It gives you longer range and punches right through walls, but it's slower and picks up interference from random stuff like microwaves. Then you had the 5 gigahertz band, blazing fast, way less interference, but a much shorter range. Airport let you manage these easily, so you could dial in your network exactly how you needed it. Part 3, advanced networking made easy. Now, you might look at all this simplicity and think, okay, it must lack actual power, but that's where you'd be wrong. Airport Utility took traditionally dense concepts like port forwarding and made them super approachable. If you wanted to, say, host a Minecraft server for your friends, you just tell the utility to open public port 25565 and route it right to your private IP address. Suddenly, setting up security cameras or remote desktops wasn't just some dark art for IT pros. Anybody could do it. The elegantly designed network tab is really where that magic happens. Want to assign permanent IP addresses for your NAS system? Boom, DHCP reservations. Want to speed up your web browsing by switching your DNS to Cloudflare or Google? You can do it right from this clean little window. No digging through endless, confusing submenus. It even protected you from your own mistakes. Ever accidentally created a double NAT situation? It's a nasty conflict where your ISP router and your Apple device are both trying to handle network address translation at the exact same time, which basically breaks your internet. Well, Airport Utility would actually spot this, flag it with a visual warning, and give you the fix right there. Just toggle back to bridge mode and let the ISP router do the heavy lifting. Problem solved.
All right, part 4, AirPlay, storage, and backups.
Let's talk about the features that made this whole lineup feel light years ahead of its time. Long before smart speakers were sitting on every single kitchen counter, we had the tiny Airport Express. And it had this awesome trick.
You could connect standard, dumb speakers to it with a regular aux cable, flip on AirPlay, and suddenly you're streaming music wirelessly from your Mac or iPhone. It literally transformed your old stereo into a modern wireless audio hub. And for storage and backups, the integration was flawless. Some models let you plug in a USB printer or a hard drive to share across the whole network, but the absolute crown jewel was the Time Capsule. Your Mac would just automatically find the network drive, and with a few clicks, it was continuously saving local snapshot versions of your entire computer. If your Mac crashed, you had a complete wireless system restore just waiting for you over Wi-Fi, the ultimate set it and forget it protection.
Part 5. Troubleshooting common network issues. Look, even the best networks have hiccups, right? But Airport turned the usually rage-inducing task of troubleshooting into a totally logical visual exercise. It starts right on the hardware. Just glance at the LED on the front. Solid green means perfect health. Flashing green, it's booting up. No light means it's dead or unplugged. But if you saw a flashing amber light, you knew there was an issue. Maybe the internet dropped, or there was a configure, or maybe just a firmware update. It prompted you to open the app and literally see the problem mapped out for you. If a device was hiding from you or the Wi-Fi was dragging, the ecosystem gave you clear, actionable fixes. We're talking straightforward stuff. Restart your Mac, temporarily disable a VPN that might be blocking the local network, or use a hardwired Ethernet cable to isolate the problem. For slow speeds, it might just be your microwave causing interference. Or maybe you just needed to move the router up higher on a shelf or manually swap broadcast channels. Simple, no-nonsense advice. And finally, Part 6. Why Airports still matters. Which brings us to the big question of this explainer. Why on earth are we still talking about this discontinued tech in 2026? Honestly, if you do a direct comparison, modern mesh systems absolutely crush the old Airport hardware when it comes to raw speed, Wi-Fi 6 or 7 support, and active security updates. No contest. But Airport still holds its own when it comes to unmatched ease of use and flawless Apple integrations like AirPlay audio and native Time Machine backups. It hit a level of harmony that modern systems still kind of struggle to replicate. Its legacy is absolutely secured. For enthusiasts, collectors, and veteran Mac users, the Airport line is just an incredible piece of hardware. It's famous for that sleek Apple design and totally silent operation. But beyond that, it's a brilliant learning tool. You can actually get hands-on and learn about DHCP, NAT, port forwarding, and network mapping without getting buried under complex enterprise software. It makes networking approachable. So, I'm going to leave you with a thought to chew on as we wrap up this explainer. In our relentless modern race for the absolute fastest Wi-Fi speeds and the most insanely complex mesh setups, did we trade away that perfect balance of elegance and simplicity? Have we sacrificed the beautiful, user-friendly networks that Apple perfected all those years ago? It's definitely something to think about next time you're lost in a totally confusing router menu just trying to get your printer to work. Thanks for hanging out with me on this deep dive. Stay curious, keep learning, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.